So we're live. We're live now. Sorry, we're sitting here talking. I'm showing Freddie how our systems work, how we do Facebook live, how we do webinars. But if you're joining us on a replay or if you're live, then Celia said it says to wait, but she should be coming in here any minute here. So anyways, we're talking to, usually we see our friend Nelson out there, Nancy. We're just excited to bring you Freddie. Freddie is somebody I recently just met at just kind of a local business talk that you were doing and setting up and working with another friend of mine. And I just was in awe of what you do and what you're putting out there and how it leads to success. And Freddie works with the youth. He actually works in a lot of the high schools. Do you work in middle schools or just
mostly high schools?
Mostly high schools. But he goes out and he speaks to hundreds of kids at assemblies, and they work on a program that creates a better community in our high schools. And a lot of the same things that they teach are very similar to the things we teach and instill in you in building success in your life. So what I'm going to kind of give you the floor a little bit to kind of, talk to our members. And this is a live, this is one of our free webinars. So we're talking to people that aren't even our members right now, but I want you to kind of let them know what you're doing and what your passion is. And at the same time, let them know how to find you, how to follow you on Facebook, Twitter, whatever you're doing, because this is somebody you want to follow for a very long time. This is somebody that you want to get to know and you want to connect to in any way possible. So Freddie, kind of let them know what it is that you do, what your direction is. We were talking about you writing a book. Kind of let them know what you're all about.
Definitely. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you, Rob. Just so you can kind of connect with me wherever you are. Some odd things about me is I grew up and I raised pigs. So if there's any 4-Hers or FFA people out there, I raised pigs. I also play a lot of basketball.
Yes.
And just really enjoy being an agent for the common good and trying to help people. That's where my life and who I am comes from, is basically everything about me is about servant leadership. And that's, in terms of really trying to inspire people to be a better person. So to answer your question in terms of what do, I speak for a company called Learning for Living.
Right.
And I do a program in high schools called Breaking Down the Walls. And the motto is, it's hard to hate someone whose story you know.
Interesting. So do you speak at large assemblies, but where does it go from there? Does it break down to smaller groups? Do you work in a smaller group and maybe leadership teams and help them develop it in their school, or how does that kind of go?
Yeah, so how it looks is normally work with about anywhere from 150 to 250 kids a day. And it's all high school kids in a gymnasium for the whole day. So You'd be surprised. I'm trying to keep their attention for 6.5 hours and not leave the gym is crazy. So it's fun, but we have a lot of fun. Basically what happens is I get the kids to open up and connect through different activities, team building activities. We'll be right here and we'll play a game kind of like this, where I'll put my finger here and you'll put your finger in mine and we'll try to pull it out as fast as we can.
Cool, right on. Just connecting, right?
Just connecting.
Right.
Doing that fun stuff to eventually get the kids to open up on a deeper level. I mean, doing that fun stuff at the beginning of the day, you're eventually getting to a point where kids are opening up about some very serious stuff, because the idea is we're trying to prevent judging and bullying and stereotypes. If I knew the real you, if I knew who you are as a person, I probably wouldn't judge you. I probably wouldn't stereotype you as, oh, he's just one of those jock kids, he doesn't know anything. But if you really knew, hey, we can connect on a personal level, you can get a lot deeper with people and develop those relationships. My mentor, so with credit due, the owner of the company is Phil Boyd. He started this company a long time ago. He's an amazing gentleman. I've learned so much from him in terms of being a mentor. He wrote a book called School Culture by Design. And he talks about building relationships is all about trust. And that's the idea of what we're trying to do in breaking down the walls.
So when we are teaching you sales training or whatever success and personal development that we're talking about, believe it or not, that's what sales is relationship building and building trust with somebody. So why I wanted Freddie to come on is because that's such an important message, is that these kids need to learn that trust in high school or even younger, and which is what my daughter's doing. And some of you have understood that, and we'll get her on here. She was on our Facebook Live yesterday. Anyways, just the same concept is how you can trust and build relationships in your school, and how that makes you a stronger community, but it also makes you a stronger person.
Definitely.
And in personal development and sales and in your whole life going on, is your success is going to be based on how you connect to people. So that's extremely vital in everything. And Freddie, you're right there in the front lines. You're in people that are going to have to go out into college and have to go meet new people for the first time in a long time. And it's their little community bubble that they have, and then also go out into the workforce. And they have to build trust. They have to build relationships. They have to work with other people. Unless they're in IT and they're working on a computer, but still, there's still that element in your life. Definitely. That even if you go to the grocery store, that you get to know that person, that you can build trust with somebody, and how vital that is to their lives. What book are you writing? What's your theme that you're looking to write about?
So it's about transitions, moving forward with faith, family, and love. And so the idea is, when you go through life, there's going to be a time where you're going to go through a transition. Whether that's heart surgery. Mm-hmm. It's going to be a change. Maybe it's something that you're going to have to do and shift.
Right.
For me, it was a variety of things. I was in a serious car accident when I was a little kid. And since that day, my story is about how my mom's lived in bed for 18 years.
Right.
Chronic pain. And so when you know somebody's story in terms of the cross they carry, who they are as a person, that's where it's about, really trying to find the optimism of being a servant leader through the different stages of life.
Right. And it's actually kind of interesting, because yesterday I did a class for our members. I was talking about how you get through those things. I was talking about my heart. I just had heart surgery on Friday, and how you stay in the game, how you still grow when you're in a growth pattern, how you deal with things that are hitting you from the side, and how you still do this. And we talked about how, we were just talking before this about how you chunk things down and learn.
Yeah.
You were talking about how I don't know anything about playing an instrument, and my daughter was standing here, we were having that conversation, and we were talking about that, it was just 5 minutes a day. And the next thing you know, now she's singing her own songs and performing live and stuff like that. And it only took 5 minutes a day. Everybody has 5 minutes a day.
She's the next Taylor Swift.
I'd love to hear that from you. So, and the same reality is that, how do you deal with those things? And in writing your book, and how you're talking about the same thing. Your mom has chronic pain every day, but she still has to get up and go out and do the things in her life to be a part of this world. And then how do you stay in an upward climb rather than stagnant or even going down? And that's really vital too, because everybody deals with something in life. Every single person, every single one of you have been going, and things are awesome and everything. Next thing you know, you get hit. In fact, they talk about that. There's graphs about, what's the line of success? Is that straight line of going up? Absolutely not. The reality is, and you can see the picture, you go Google it, it's all over. I mean, guys, you got to swim through barbed wire, and the whole thing, right? Yeah. And so the reality is, it's going to happen. You're going to not go just straight up to success. You're going to have your hiccups. And then how do you stay in that pattern of going up, even though you have those hiccups? So all those same concepts that we're talking about all live in the basics. So we can sit here and we can fluff everything we want up, but the reality is, how chunking things down, Definitely. Right? So they're manageable every single day, and you're always doing something to move forward. And then also, how do you manage those outside things? The chronic pain, that's something you just can't get rid of. So you have to learn how to deal with that on an everyday. You were in a car accident, and that changed your life. And how do you go in? Now you're a professional, you're a personal speaker, you're a professional speaker. And so you've grown from tragedies and hiccups in life. And so we all have to, but if you're prepared to understand that that's what's going to happen to you. And that going in, building 360, I knew going in, was I going to go from one person becoming a member to 1 million members right away. No. I mean, I knew I was going to have hiccups. I knew I was going to have growth patterns. I knew that I was going to have technology that I have to deal with. I know Freddie right now probably hasn't had an interview on a camera. He wants to interview with me. He wants to look at me, and we're trying to talk to you. And that's something he's never done. So this is a big step for him, because now he's going to look at it and go, whoa, look at how can I talk to my people? How can I start? We had a conversation before about Facebook Live. That's going to change your life. Because I was saying he could be going out and doing an assembly, and the next thing you know, right before the assembly, he's having a Facebook Live talking about, look at all these kids, look at all these people that are ready for me to come and talk, and that's going to build his brand and build who he is, and learning how to speak on a webinar and talk to people is going to be a big deal. I've never had somebody come in as a guest, so I'm having a struggle because I'm so used to talking to you here that I'm also trying to think in my head, I need to talk to Freddie too, because we're building a trust.
Definitely.
We're building that as well. And so we've hit a lot of concepts just in this interview right now. But Freddie, can you tell everybody how they can connect to you? How do they find you?
Definitely. Well, you can go to tweetfreddie.com.
Okay.
And that's tweetfreddie.com. That goes to all my social media.
Right.
So all my social media is the same. It's at Freddie Silvera. That's FreddieSilveria. Freddie Silvera. And I'm at FreddieSilvera.com, Freddie Silvera Twitter, Freddie Silvera LinkedIn, Freddie Silvera Facebook, Freddie Silvera on the road with Rob.
That's right. We're going to do a lot. He's going to come in. He actually, I asked him pretty straightforward. And before we really built any kind of relationship as far as, knowing each other, I said, would you work with my daughter's, boo bully? Basically what we're trying to do is build leadership and kindness in elementary schools. It's absolutely needed. A lot of the stuff's happening in high schools and middle schools that has to do with anti-bullying and suicide prevention. It's such a big thing. But if we were building these kids at a younger age on how to deal with things and how to be leaders and how to understand concepts of kindness and looking out for their fellow student, we taught these kids how to walk over, see a kid that's over and playing. And then, there's one thing to go over and say, hey, will you come play with me? And the kid says no, because they don't know how to respond or build that relationship and trust with somebody. But it's different to say, you know what, we're going to play this game and it's so much more fun with more people and you'd be perfect to join us. Well, next thing you know, the kids at the school are joining in the thing and they got a bunch of friends that they didn't know how to react with before. And so simple concepts like that. And Freddie's going to love hearing about those things because he can utilize that at his high schools. But, the most important thing and why I love sharing these interviews with you, we've had some amazing interviews here at 360, and having Freddie come on, and somebody that I don't know very well and that I'm really excited to get to know, is because he's out there speaking. He's speaking the truths. He's teaching these kids. He's doing things and changing people's lives. And so I want you to connect with him. I wanted to share his message with you, to all our 360 followers. And we're going to definitely have you back. We'll definitely have you back and part of what we're doing here at 360 and more. And we want to also support you and what you do in helping our youth of today. And when your book comes out, you let everybody know, because we're going to let everybody know how to get a hold of your book. And I think it's going to be a really important book for people to get through. But also I want them to connect to you, because you're putting your message out daily and you're helping a lot of people. And if people were to come and listen to you about what things are going on and that you're dealing with every day, because you're right in the middle of it, I think a lot of people can learn from that. So I really appreciate your time here. And is there any one big quote that you have that you probably just kind of live by?
Definitely.
Okay, what would that be?
There's a quote I actually posted on Instagram yesterday.
Okay.
It's actually by Randy Pausch. Some people might remember Randy Pausch. He was a big name about a couple of years ago through Oprah. He wrote a book called The Last Lecture. And he used to be, I forgot which school it was at. It was a big school like Michigan. Mm-hmm. But the school he was a professor at, he was diagnosed with cancer. And they said, you have about 40 days to live. So he did a accumulation of all of his last lectures that he gave. And this is the book. And he talks about basically life. And he was a husband, a husband and a father. He had 2 or 3 kids, just the average guy, nice guy. And so anyways, the quote that I took from him is, pretty much how I live my life. And that is, it's not about how to achieve your dreams. It's about how to live your life. If you live your life the right way, the karma will take care of itself and the dreams will come to you.
Wow. Wow. That's beautiful stuff, actually. So we're going to kind of end the interview here, but I want to do a little bit of housekeeping really quick for 360. So 360 has just launched our Focus Productivity Planner, which is unbelievable. In fact, what we were going to do is have it as a separate program. And that program, actually, Freddie, when I first met you, I talked about my planner.
Yep.
And so it's officially was mailed out to our council members yesterday. It'll go out to the rest of our members on Friday.
Right on.
But this was a big undertaking, and I actually was able to finish and complete it with my partner Celia while going through heart surgery. It was a big deal. It was a big hiccup in my life, and I still had to complete and finish and hit a deadline, even though we were behind a deadline. But still, we still finished and completed and got it delivered. And so we have now taken that separate program. We've included it into our membership. So for $10 a month, you get all of our classes. You get our Focus Planner, which is also comes with coaching that's built into it. We now are doing focus and productivity classes. We have new trainings and coachings being developed. We have new programs that are now going into development. And so the amount of value that we're giving to you these days is just incredible. So if you're not a member, get in now. If you're a member, start telling everybody, because we're on this amazing growth pattern, and we give so much for $10 a month. It's just crazy. So thank you again, Freddie, for coming to my house.
Yeah,
and my makeshift studio. I'm going to show them I have a studio. If anybody's watched before, I have a studio that I built here with a green screen and everything. So we're going to show him. I can let him use it for anything he wants to do in the future as well. But thank you all for being here, and have an amazing day. Freddie, thank you for being here. You have an amazing day, and we look forward to bringing more of the same content to you in the future. Have a great day.